because I got a pregnancy test and then I started to miscarry. You just start to feel like, why is this happening to me? Like, why do I have to go through this? I went to the bathroom and I felt like the worst thing happened. I had spotting. I started taking the Geritol. If it didn't happen, he's still faithful. He's still good. When we're going through things, we can sometimes feel like, why me? I'm the only one dealing with this. But let me reassure you that you're not. Trust the timing of your journey. No matter what, he's got me. Like, he took me on this journey. Like, I constantly had to tell myself that this is a part of God's plan for my life. Like, I can't get to the next season without going through this season. Hello loves, welcome to today's video, which is the very first episode of the Mommy Glow Up and Chat series. In this first episode, I'm going to be talking about how we tried for a year. We had 2 miscarriages and then we finally was able to conceive our 3rd baby girl. So I'm going to be answering questions and just talking about the journey, sharing any encouragement that I may have for anyone who may be going through something similar. And I just really want this series and this to be a safe space for moms and moms-to-be to just come and to encourage each other and to just make it a positive space for any woman who may be dealing with something. So we're going to be talking about pregnancy, motherhood, self-care, and we're going to be getting cute together while doing it, okay? So in this first episode, we are going to be achieving this makeup look right here. If you guys are interested, make sure you continue to watch. If you guys are interested, make sure you continue to watch. Question number 1, how long did we try before getting pregnant? And I'm starting out with primer. I will have all the products that I'm using linked down below in the description box. We're going to focus more on the topics, but we tried for exactly a year. So it was our anniversary trip back in 2023. We went to Vegas, and I remember like we went to it was like this really nice restaurant, and it was like Top of the World, I think that was the name of it. So Sean had booked reservations there, and I remember one of the conversations we had was about trying for baby number 3. So after, that trip, we started to try. And that next cycle, I actually got a positive pregnancy test. If you watch the full announcement video, I actually shared the whole entire process. So you saw that I actually conceived. I got a positive pregnancy test, but I believe that was like a chemical pregnancy because I only got 1 positive that time. So I actually got 3 positive tests before, within that year span of trying. So yeah, that first time, I wasn't too bummed out about it, after I took the test and it came back negative, because that was back in August. And I was like, okay, I mean, we can try again next month. Whoop-de-woo. Not too bummed out about it. And then months went by. We were trying. I was tracking my cycle. I wasn't doing too much of anything else. I may have been like taking vitamins. I think I was taking vitamins and my iron supplements. But other than that, I was not doing anything else to try to conceive. I was just, timing my cycle, finding out when I'm ovulating, and was doing the thing. From August to December, what is that, like 4 months, 5 months? Y'all do the math. But found out I was pregnant in December, right before Christmas, y'all. So excited. Days before Christmas, I was so excited. I had told my mom, of course, told Sean, told my sisters, and it was so exciting. I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to tell the girls on Christmas. Oh my gosh, we got to do it. And then I started to miscarry like 2 or 3 days after finding out. Mind you, I had taken so many pregnancy tests to confirm. I'm just like, oh, like, let me take these pregnancy tests. And then I was also just tracking my line to make sure it was progressing and getting darker. So I was doing all the things. And the month that I got pregnant in December, I was actually tracking my cycle with the ovulation strip. So that is something new that I was doing that cycle when I did conceive. So I had that miscarriage, and then in January I got pregnant again, and then a few days later I started to miscarry. So with the pregnancy in January, the third pregnancy, but I say my second miscarriage because I feel like that first pregnancy was just like a chemical pregnancy. So with the second miscarriage, when I found out I was pregnant, I actually went to my doctor to get confirmation. They did blood work, check all my HCG levels, and making sure, you know, everything was good. So the doctor had put in for me to come back, I think like 3 days later, to get my blood drawn again so she can make sure my HCG levels was increasing. But before I could make it to that next appointment, I started to miscarry. And I just felt so defeated. You can watch that video and you can see like how I had got, like I would get so excited and so happy, and then it was like something just crashed down on me. It was just the worst feeling. It was such a roller coaster. So if you are going through that right now, my heart goes out to you, because I had experienced a miscarriage before. I actually miscarried before summer, but we wasn't trying, and I felt like it was a lot different, because this time we were trying. We were actively trying. I remember it was in December because I got a pregnancy test, and then I started to miscarry, and I was okay about it because we, you know, it wasn't something that we were looking forward, you know, we wasn't planning for a baby. And even when I got pregnant with Summer, it was not planned. I went to the doctor to get a IUD put in and found out I was pregnant. So yeah, this time around, just having the miscarriage, it hit me a lot harder. And girl, so I really feel for the women who are trying to conceive and who is taken years, and you've been trying for years and it still has not happened. So my heart definitely goes out to you. Like, it's not easy at all, especially just each month getting your hopes up, and then after you take that test and it's negative, it's just like, oh, you just feel so defeated. And that is how I was feeling after that second miscarriage in January. I was just like an emotional wreck. Next question is, how did I cope with the emotional ups and downs of trying to conceive? So for me, I had my husband to lean on, to talk to vent to, you know, like when I was just going through my emotions, I was able to, you know, cry, lean on his, like, you know, talk to him, just lay on him, cry, and get it all out. Just having a support system really helped me. I told my mom, my sisters knew, so they were real supportive. And also just God helped me through this. And I feel like one of the things that really like helped me was reminding myself that I was on this journey for a reason. These setbacks was not happening just to happen. It was a part of my story, it was a part of my journey, and I had to go through this in order to share it with you and to hopefully help someone else, to encourage another woman who may be going through the same thing, dealing with the same issues, that you will get through it. It's okay. I know in the middle of it, in the midst of it, it don't feel like that. You feel so defeated and you just feel like, why me? Why is this happening to me? Yeah, you just start to feel like, why is this happening to me? Like, why do I have to go through this? Like, what? When I wasn't trying to get pregnant, it just felt like it was just so easy. But now here I am planning this pregnancy, trying, and it's just being a challenge. So I get it. It's not easy at all, but having a village, having people around you that you can talk to, that can support you, that can encourage you and uplift you and let you know that it's okay. Your time will come. You will get through this, is what helped me. Another question is, what helped you stay hopeful after experiencing miscarriages? Like I said previously, God. It was God. I had to lean and depend on God. I had to trust that this was his will for my life. And he was taking me through this journey for a reason. It was a greater purpose. And just like reading my Bible and just like staying connected, praying, and just asking God for direction. I fasted during that time just to get clarity and just to draw closer to God. So what helped me stay hopeful was knowing that I was not on this journey alone, because I knew where my help come from, and I know where my help comes from. It comes from God. Like, there's no way I could have gotten through all the emotions I was feeling without God, because I was like, if you watch the video, like me watching it back, I'm like, oh girl, you was really like trusting and depending on God, because each time I was just like, I have the faith that I'm on this journey for a reason, and God is taking me through this for a reason. So I kept the faith, even though I was feeling defeated, even though I was feeling hopeless. I continued to just like, keep the faith and know that this was not going to be the end to my story. That whole season of me trying to conceive, I just felt like it was a faith journey. And God was taking me on it to draw me closer to Him and to really show me what can happen when you trust in God, even when it looks like all hope is gone, when it looks like, this may not happen. And I also had to get to a place where I was not getting so consumed in trying to get pregnant, because I felt like I went through a time span where I was like consumed. Like when I say consumed, like tracking my cycle, like consumed in it, doing so many different ovulation strips. So after that second miscarriage, I was like, this cannot take over my life. I still have two beautiful, healthy children that I have to focus on, and I had to change my focus, and I had to stop just like being so consumed in the process of trying to conceive. And I felt like God was like, He had to get me to a place where it was like, if it didn't happen, He's still faithful, He's still good. And I had to get to a place like that. Like, even like after that second miscarriage, I had to like change my mindset and be like, yo, I cannot keep going on like this. God, it's your will for my life. It's your plan. And whenever you see fit, just make it happen, please. But if it doesn't happen, it's not that you can't make it happen. And it's hard. It's hard to say that, because when you want something so bad and then you gotta, it was weird. But also during that time, so I told y'all that I was tracking my cycle. I also tried pre-seed. Like, I would search so many different, remedies on how to help you conceive. So I saw the Mucinex trick. I saw the pre-seed. We tried pre-seed, and I think I tried that in like March, April. And also, this leads into the next question. Did you do anything differently that helped you conceive? And I got the Geritol, y'all. The Geritol is ultimately what I feel like worked for us in just God's timing. But girl, it's taking me forever to do my brows. This is why I never do sit down videos, because it takes me forever to try to do this and talk to y'all. Like, what in the world? Get it together. I'm just sitting here. I've been doing my eyebrows for 20 freaking minutes. Like, what in the world? All right, so we tried the Geritol. I actually tried it in March. Girl, I could not get with the taste of that Geritol, and I was like, baby, I don't know about this Geritol. I took it for about 2 days and I stopped. I stopped taking it. I believe that was in March. And I was just like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do this Geritol. Like, let me just continue to take my prenatal vitamins and my iron supplements. Also got a question about, did I get blood work done in the midst of all of this? And yes, I had blood work done. Everything came back positive. Like, the doctor couldn't find any reason as to why I kept having miscarriages. So I know that was a question that I had saw, was like, why didn't I get blood work done? But trust me, I did. tried that Geritol for a few days, and I was like, baby, I can't do this. No, this taste just can't get with your girl. So I stopped taking the Geritol. Months go by. June, I was like, you know what? Mind you, my focus was not on trying to conceive. It was like, if it happens, it happens. I was tracking my cycle, but y'all, I was not consumed like I once was, because when I say I was consumed, your girl was consumed, okay? I was tracking this cycle. I had my ovulation strips. I was like, okay, it's time to do the do. Let's do it. But I had, like, June came around. I was like, you know what? Let's try this Geritol and let's get serious about it. So I started taking the Geritol the first day of my cycle. And I started taking it, and I saw so many different people talking about different ways on how to take the Geritol, whether to take it until you get your first positive, take it until your cycle starts. So I took it for 2 weeks. I took Geritol, I took folic acid, and I also, not folic acid, folate, FOLIC, and I took my iron supplements and my vitamin. No, I didn't take my vitamins. Or did I take vitamins? However, girl, I started to feel so nauseous and so sick after taking all of those supplements for like 3-4 days straight. I started to feel so sick on the stomach, and I was like, hold up, wait a minute. I went to my best friend, which is Google, and I started Googling. I'm like, I am taking Geritol and I'm taking girl, come back. I came to find out that Geritol is like an iron supplement, which helps to increase your iron. On top of that, I was taking my blood builder iron supplements. On top of that, I was taking the folate, and I was taking my vitamins, and I'm just like, that is too much. Plus the Geritol and my blood builder were 2 iron supplements. And I didn't know you could overdose on iron, and like it could really harm you. So I was like, oh no ma'am. No ma'am. Let's cut it all out. So I cut it all out. I remember it was like a Friday or Saturday. I know I didn't take it for like 2 or 3 days. After that weekend, after I started to feel a lot better, I started to just take the Geritol, and I just took the Geritol for the remainder of the 2 weeks. Ovulated, did my ovulation strips, all the things. Coverage on this foundation looks amazing. And if you want more coverage, this is definitely buildable. This is what the foundation is looking like. And I want to dive into some eyeshadow. Let's do it. Let's do it. I don't be playing in eyeshadow too much for the sake of the video and for the sake of Valentine's Day coming up, and you may want to try out this looky look for Valentine's Day. We're gonna do it. So I'm going to take my bronzer, and let's zoom in a little bit. Y'all want to come in closer so y'all can see what I'm doing. I am going to take this bronzer right here. It's by Revolution Makeup Revolution, and the shade is Bronzer Reloaded Long Weekend, and I'm going to use this as my transition color for my eyeshadow. So you can just take any bronzer of your choice, and I'm just going to go in, apply some of this. Skip this step if you don't want to do eyeshadow. We're gonna apply a little bit just to spruce up the look, and I'm just using circular motions to blend in this bronzer. So this kind of leads into the next question, which is, how did you find out you were pregnant this time? So like I said, I took the Geritol in June, and then we were going on our anniversary trip the 2nd week in July, and I was like, okay girl, you need to pack some pregnancy tests because you took that Geritol, and we're gonna see if this Geritol works. So on the trip, I had already brought pregnancy tests with me just to, you know, check and see if I was pregnant. And y'all, I was using the Amazon. You can get like a big box of pregnancy tests off Amazon for a really good price. So if you are trying to conceive, girl, in the beginning I was getting all the first response and clear blue, and girl, just wasting my money, okay? Because the Amazon tests really pick up really well, and use those first. And if you get a line, that's when you can go in with like the first response. So I took me some tests with us, packed in my bag, and I tested when we were in Vegas. So that trip, we went to Vegas for like we were gone for a week. So we went to Vegas for half the week. And then for the second half, we went to San Francisco, California. Had an amazing trip. And I was testing while we were in Vegas. And I think it's like so cool. It's because it was like exactly a year. Like our anniversary trip, we were in Vegas the previous year. And then that next year, we were in Vegas again. And like, I was literally like finding out I was pregnant almost like a year later, give or take some days. So yeah, we were in San Francisco. I believe it was like the first day we were there that morning. I was feeling nauseous. And even when we was in Vegas, like I was feeling nauseous. I knew something was up. I was just like, what is this? When we were in Vegas, I took a shot or two when we first got there, but I wasn't doing any like heavy drinking simply because I knew it could be a possibility that I could be pregnant. So I was like, you know what, we ain't gonna take no chances. But I was feeling so sick on the stomach when we was in Vegas. I remember one night, me and Sean, we actually went to a show. And y'all, I fell asleep in the show. The show was really good. It was like an interactive show. I believe the name of the show was a Kai show. And it was really good. But your girl could not hang at all. I was knocked out in that joint. And I just was so tired. I felt like I just needed a nap any chance I could get. I'm gonna go in this Juvia's Place palette and we're gonna darken up the outer V area just to add some depth into some dimension to the eye. But yeah, I was so tired. So before even getting a positive test, I kind of knew something was up, but girl, at that time, I was just like, honey, I don't know if I'm pregnant or not. Like, I'm not trying to get my hopes up or any of that. When we got to San Francisco, I remember I took a test that morning because I was just feeling so nauseous. I'm like, what is going on? Girl, I took that test, the Amazon test, and I saw that faint line. I was like, hold up. Wait a minute, because it had been months since I got a positive pregnancy test. I hadn't got a positive pregnancy test since January, since that second miscarriage. And I was like, oh, hold up, wait a minute, we got a positive test here. And so I went and I got my first clear blue. And I was like, let me take this digital joint. Or I took the one that showed a line first, whichever one. I took two. It came back pregnant. It came back positive. And in that moment, I don't know, it just felt like, I just remember I just started bawling and just started thanking God, because I just felt like this was the time. This was it. Still in the moment, like I felt like it was it, but I couldn't erase the history. I couldn't erase what had happened months ago and the journey to get into that point. So in the midst of me being excited, I also felt like I couldn't get too excited, because it was just like, ugh. Another question is, what symptoms made you think you were pregnant before taking the test? And I actually just answered those questions. I was feeling nauseous, I was feeling sick, and I just had like a little inkling, like a little feeling that, but even after like getting the confirmation from the doctor, I had so much like, what's the word, like anxiety. So now for my lid, I am going to take this beautiful, I'm going in this Game of Thrones palette. This is like a limited edition palette that I got years ago, but the colors that I'm showing you, you can, you know, find your own eyeshadow colors that will mimic these, or just use anything that's similar. But this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pink. But I will say that whole first trimester, until I started to feel baby girl move consistently, and until I got to the point where I could like poke at my stomach and it would encourage her to move, girl, the anxiety was real, okay? I actually ended up buying one of the baby Dopplers, and that is something that helped to give me like peace in that first trimester, or at least when I got to 12 weeks, because I believe, yeah, I didn't hear her heartbeat on my own with the baby Doppler at home until I was around 12 or 13 weeks. I got that baby Doppler because I needed that reassurance. I needed to hear her heartbeat I needed to just like have that to make sure everything was okay. She's still in there baking. Her heart rate is, you know, normal. Like that's one of the things that helped me before I could start hearing or feeling her move. Even before that first doctor or that first ultrasound. So I went in. So after we found out we were pregnant in San Francisco, so excited. Like I literally wanted to share the news, but we decided that we will hold off until like we got our ultrasound, till like the doctor confirmed everything. So I didn't tell anyone. Mind you, previously I had told my mom, I had told my sisters as soon as I got a positive pregnancy test. But this time around, I was like, you know what? We're going to hold off. I didn't want to take them on the roller coaster with me again, you know, because I just wanted to make sure everything was good. While we was on the trip, I booked my confirmation appointment with my doctor. And I went in. They did a pregnancy test, did blood work, confirmed everything, did blood work for my HCG levels, and then I continuously got blood work done to make sure my HCG levels was rising. So I got those taken and my levels were rising and all the things. We got our first ultrasound, I think I was like 10 weeks, but I remember, y'all, I was around 8 weeks. I went to the bathroom because in that time I was still kind of like, I just had all of these mixed emotions because I'm like praying and I was really hopeful. I'm like, please God, just don't let me miscarry. I just pray everything works out this time. Every time I would go to the bathroom, I had so much anxiety and I'm just like, please don't let me see no blood, Lord. Please don't let me see no blood. Any cramp, any ache, pain I had, I was just like, oh, please don't let me start miscarrying. And so if you're in that season and like you're going through that weight of you had your first appointment, but you haven't had the ultrasound to see if the pregnancy is viable and hit a heartbeat and all of that, I feel your pain. Like I feel all the emotions that you're going through, girl. But I had spotting. I went to the bathroom and the worst thing, I felt like the worst thing happened, and that was spotting. I'm like, I do not want to see no blood because I know that when I saw blood in the past, what happened? When I wiped and I saw the little bit of blood, I took a picture of it just in case I need to show it to the doctor or whatever, but it was just a little bit. Mind you, when I miscarried before, at first it would be like a little bit, but this time it was just like a little, like a little bit. And I did so much research when it comes to like, is it normal to spot when you are early in pregnancy? So many women have talked about how they have spotted early on in pregnancy and went on to have a normal, healthy, regular pregnancy. So I still had hope there. Mind you, I did not tell anyone. I did not tell Sean because I didn't want anyone's outside emotions, feelings, opinions, or anything. I was just like, God, I trust you and your will is going to be done. I just put it in God's hands and I was like, this is just, you know, a part of this pregnancy, because mind you, I had never spotted with any of my previous pregnancies, or I may have, like, it was a little bit of blood where normally when I wipe, I just wipe and just keep it moving. So I don't even think I was like with Skylar or Summer, I was not wiping and looking each time, you know, and just making sure I'm not spotting. So I may have spotted with them and just did not catch it because it was just like a little bit. So when I went in for my first ultrasound, I said when I went in, I had the ultrasound first and then I talked with the doctor. So I had already had in my mind, like I was going to bring it up to the doctor. So when the lady was doing the ultrasound, she was like, have you had any spotting? Everything looking good.
Have you had any spotting or bleeding or anything like that?
I did have spotting last Monday.
Okay.
Like it was like 2 specks on the tissue.
Yeah, just like when you wipe.
Yeah.
Okay. So there it is. A little probably that count. It's just a teeny tiny little pool of blood. It's very, very common. It happens a lot, so I'm just documenting that right now.
Where does that come from?
From your body making a baby.
Oh,
Your
okay.
uterus expanded and blood vessels are being formed and things like that. So it's really, really common. I've seen 2 already today.
Okay.
So it's nothing to be alarmed, but I just document it.
And I was like, yeah. And I was kind of nervous when she asked me that, because I'm like, oh God, what are you getting ready to say? And she said that it's normal, and she's had like a lot of women come in saying that they had spotting, and she saw like a little sack of blood. And I remember Sean was just like, why you ain't tell me? Like, he was shocked, like, what, you was spotting? But yeah, I just did not want to share. I just felt like it was just that moment where I was just like, I'm not telling nobody. I'm trusting God. I just went to God about it. Yeah, I love drinking this pineapple juice. I was drinking this before pregnancy, but lately I've just been craving pineapple juice. And it's so good. So I wanted to share that just in case any of you do experience light spotting. Know that yes, it can be like the first signs of miscarriage, but sometimes it can be okay. So don't stress yourself out about it. Like, I literally had to just talk to myself and be like, girl, this is not what we're gonna do. What we're not gonna do is be stressed out about it, because we didn't come too far. And it's just a little bit of blood, okay? So I had to have like mind control, and I had to like really talk to myself like, girl, because sometimes you can stress yourself out and just like make things happen. Like, so I was just like, no, chill. So yeah, I had that first appointment, had a confirmation, everything was good. We heard a heartbeat, the girls went with us, and yeah, it was just amazing. Like, we had told the girls prior to that appointment, because I wanted them to go to the first appointment and see the baby and all the things, and they got to experience that, which I'm glad they did. This journey has not been easy. It's been emotional. It's been so many different ups and downs. The lashes that I'm applying are these right here. They are the Kiss lashes, #1 wispy style. The style is, I know the number is 92110. Oh, wide slats. I believe that's the name of them, wide slats. And they're super natural. I've just been into super natural lashes. Before I do my lashes, I do like to coat my natural lashes with mascara, and I've been loving this one right here. It's by Lancome. It's the Monster Big. I believe I'm saying that right. But I have everything linked down below that I'm using. Another question is, when did you feel comfortable announcing? So with this pregnancy, I think this pregnancy I waited the latest to announce, and mainly because of the journey and just everything I went through to get to conceiving baby #3. And like, I did wait until I was like 20 weeks. I felt comfortable after like I had my anatomy scan, after like I had more doctor's appointments, and I knew that like everything was good, and you know, everything was good. So I just waited until I felt like I was ready to share it with the world, until I was ready to be asked questions. Because y'all know something else that I actually did not, I don't know, you know, because I've been this person. I've been this person when I have asked the woman, when you want to have kids? Oh, you have a baby, or you want kids, or any, like, those questions. I've been that person. And one thing I've learned through this journey that I've been on is that sometimes it's not always best to ask those questions, because you don't know what that person may be dealing with. And it was so cringy to me when anyone would ask me, oh, are y'all gonna try for baby #3? No matter who it was. And even like, I remember I was supposed to do a question and answer on YouTube. I had asked questions and you guys had like sent in questions. And I never did that Q&A because so many of the questions was, are y'all gonna try for the baby number 3? Just baby number 3, baby number 3, baby number 3. And mind you, like y'all didn't know what we were dealing with. You didn't know what I was going through, like any of that. So, you know, some people just genuinely want to know. Some people just genuinely, you know, just want to, you know, they watch my life and they just wanted to know, like y'all wanted to know, which I get and I understand. But at the same time, it didn't feel good just constantly seeing that question and not being in a space of being able to address it where I could address it without being upset or without coming from a place of like, I don't know. I just could not address that question. So I just scratched the whole video. Y'all probably remember me asking for questions and I just could never do the video because it was just so many, every other question was like, are y'all gonna have baby number 3? Do y'all want a boy? And it was just like, oh, what? Why? Why are y'all asking this? So I'm saying all of this to say, just be mindful when you ask a woman about whether or not she wants to have kids, whether or not she's trying, because you just don't know what journey she's on. Maybe she doesn't want kids, or maybe she's been trying and it just has not happened, and it can be very triggering. And so I just feel like some questions should just be like, now I realize that after going through this, it's just like some questions are just like, unless they open the door for you to ask those questions and open the door for the conversation, I just feel like bringing that up is not always good. And it just depends on your relationship with that person. But just be mindful whenever you do ask a woman or ask a couple whether or not they want to have kids or whether or not they're trying, all the things, like you just never know. But ultimately, I waited until I was ready, until I was comfortable in my pregnancy to share the news with the world. And with my family, I told my family, I think I was like 12 or 13 weeks, like right at the end of my first trimester. But yeah, this is your journey. This is your body. This is your pregnancy. Like this is your journey. And you share things when you are ready and when you feel comfortable. So it's no right or wrong time to share when you are pregnant. It's just when you feel comfortable. Like I could have shared it with my family as soon as I found out, but I was not ready. I wasn't comfortable in that moment. You just share things when you're ready and don't allow anyone, or don't feel pressure to have to share your journey in whatever you're going through with anyone else. So now we're gonna go back to my face and I'm going to apply this right here. This is the shade is Black Opal, is I think it's chocolate, but I'm going to use this as bronzer to bronze the skin, to add some, to bring some definition back into the skin. I want to use this, and then I kind of want to go in, you know what, we're going to go in with this one right here. It's the LA Girl Pro Concealer. It's a little darker, but it's a little bit less on the warm side. Doesn't have as many red tones, so I'm going to add this like in this area and we'll blend it out. And I also want to share some tips and just some encouragement for any women who are trying to conceive. Like you're on the journey and you may feel alone. You just may feel like, why me? Why do I have to go through this? Why does this have to be a part of my story, a part of my journey? Like, why? Why me? If you're feeling like that, I just want to encourage you to give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. Trying to conceive can be emotionally exhausting. And it's okay to feel all the emotions. It's okay to feel the sadness. It's okay to have those moments of like, why do I have to go through this? It's okay. And I want to encourage you to feel the emotions. Don't try to block them out. Don't try to dismiss the way that you're feeling. Girl, what the heck am I doing? This looks muddy and I should have went with the other one. However, we're gonna, oh, girl, what the heck? We're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. We're going to make it work. Like, what the heck? First of all, I applied too much. Girl, let's just go ahead and blend this out on the nose before it just be a disaster. I want to encourage you to give yourself grace, stay hopeful, and know that your time will come and this is a part of your journey. And do all the things, go to the doctor, get your blood work done, ask your doctor the questions, do your research on any of the like remedies that you want to try. But for me and for this pregnancy, the Geritol did work for me. And I stand 10 toes down on that stuff. Like, take the Geritol. I sucked it up, even though the taste was not that good. I knew that, like, I was at a place where, honey, let me just try this because what I've been doing ain't working. And maybe I just need to give this a try. So I'm glad that I tried the Geritol because it wasn't until I took that Geritol that I had a successful pregnancy. And lean on your support system, whether it's your partner, your family, your friends, online community. Like, I'm sharing my journey to help you and for each of us to help each other. So in the comments, if you don't mind sharing your journey, sharing your story so I can read it, so someone else can read it and encourage you, or you can be an encouragement to someone else. Like, find a community where you can you can get that support, because support definitely does make a big difference. Like, TikTok, me and TikTok was like this because I was watching so many other people's journey and realizing that, like, this happens a lot. People go through miscarriages, multiple miscarriages a lot. And I'm not the only one, because sometimes when we're going through things, we can sometimes feel like, why me? I'm the only one dealing with this. But let me reassure you that you're not. You're not the only one. Just people may not be speaking about it. You're not the only one that's going through what you're going through. Another tip that I would give you is to stay informed but not obsessed. Stay informed but not obsessed. And that is like key, girl, because I told y'all I was obsessed with my ovulation tracker. Like, I had like 3 different apps tracking my ovulation, tracking my cycle, tracking my symptoms. I even had the thermometer. I was checking my temperature at one point. Like, I became obsessed. But I want you to stay informed. Yes, track your cycle. Know when you're ovulating. Know all of these things. Be informed about it, but don't be obsessed. Don't let it consume you, because tracking your cycle is definitely helpful, but it's easy to get overwhelmed with every symptom and just be like, oh, you feel a little twinge in your body. And you're just like, oh, what is that? Oh, I feel this. What is that? So just breathe and know that God's plan is the best plan, and God's timing is the best timing. For my concealer, I'm going to use 2 different ones, 2 of my favorites. I love this Fenty and I love this Tarte. So we're going to apply the Fenty in the inner corner right here. We're going to be a little dramatic today. And I'm going to go down my nose. I'm going to do a little bit on the forehead. And then I'm going to take this Tarte, which is a little bit darker, and I'm going to go right here. Right here. And before, I'm going to let this dry down just a little bit. But after letting it dry down a little bit, I am going to spray a little bit of this. This is the Milani Make It Last Original Waterproof and Sweat-Proof finishing spray. It gives a natural finish, and I really like this stuff. So we're going to spray this after I let it dry down for a little bit. And I'm going to try not to get my hair wet. And the last tip or encouragement that I feel like I could give you is to trust the timing of your journey. Trust the timing. I believe in God, I believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe that He takes us all on different journeys for a specific reason. And like I said previously, I feel like He took me on this journey, one, to allow me to draw closer to Him and to really understand and realize where my help comes from, and to know that no matter what, He's got me. Like, He took me on this journey for that, but He also took me on this journey to be able to be a light to someone else, to encourage someone. So no matter what you are dealing with, you may be watching this and you may not even be trying to conceive. You may be dealing with something else on your journey through life. And you are just like wondering why when I get to this point I keep having this stumbling block. Why does this keep happening? Why when I apply for all of these jobs I keep getting denied? No one wants to hire me. Like, whatever your thing is, know that God has you on that journey for a specific reason. So nothing we go through is in vain. God uses every bit of our story, every bit of our journey for a specific reason, for a specific purpose. And you have to believe that. And I know it's so hard when you're going through different challenges to realize that and to hold on to that. But that is one of the things that helped me. I'm just speaking from experience and how I dealt with it. Like, I constantly had to tell myself that this is a part of God's plan for my life. Like, I can't get to the next season without going through this season. And I'm going to be able to appreciate the next season so much more because of the season that I'm going through. And I just had to constantly remind myself of that, because y'all know the saying, trouble does not last always. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. If you think back over your life, I'm going to spray a little bit of this. I need something to cover my hair. We've all faced difficulty one way or another. And going through the difficulty, we question, like, why and how am I going to get through this? Let me tell you something. You got through it, right? So whatever you're going through right now, know that you will get through it. It's just this season. It's just something that's a part of your journey. It's a part of your story right now, and you will get through it. I think I let it dry down a little too much, but it's okay. And you want your beauty blender to be damp. Now I'm going to go in with my foundation brush. This still has product on it, and you see how everything is just sitting on my face. It's not blended. However, you want to go in either with the butt part of your beauty blender, or you can use your foundation brush and just blend. And that's what makes the difference. Like, taking your time, blending the products together, spraying your spray when you need it. I'm going to spray a little bit more in a second to just help everything blend seamlessly together. I'm just going to go over everything. Make sure everything is blended the way I want it to be blended. Oh, the trick with your concealer, I'm going to zoom in so y'all can see, to get that creasing, because as you can see, like, it's starting to crease. I love my Laura Mercier setting powder. So what I'm going to do is take my beauty blender before I set it, because you do not want to set your under eyes when they are looking like this, when they have creases in them. You look up and try not to look down, but you want to blend all of that out. Ooh. Make sure everything is blended before you go in and set. You may be looking a little crazy. Get your powder, take some of it, pat it on your hand, and place it. So, boom. We're gonna do the same thing to the other side. Set your nose. I'm gonna go in this Morphe palette right here, and I'm going to pick up probably these two pinks and apply these blushes. And I'm going to go into this Anastasia Glow Kit, and I think I'm going to take the shade Summer and apply a little bit to the point on my nose, highlight. Then we're going to take a little bit and we're doing the whole shebang, okay? This is a Mommy Glow Up series, and we are glowing. We are glowing up, okay, girl? Now we are basically done. I'm going to spray my face again. It's just going to set everything, and then I'm going to put mascara on my bottom lashes, do my lips, and then I'm going to come back and talk to you guys and finish out the video. Let's finish this look up. I'm going to do my lips, and I'm using the shade Cold Brew. Not my absolute favorite, but I cannot find my brown lip liner that I love, so we just going to go with it. For my lips, I'm going to take Lancome. This is the shade 210 Unspoken Feelings. And I'm just going to fill this in the middle. And we're going to leave the lips like this. Trying to decide if I want to go in with like a little nude. This is from Fearless Belle, my brand. This is the shade Nude. And I think I'm going to pop a little bit just in the middle. And then I'm going to go in with my mascara and add some to my lower lashes. And that is it. We are done with the look. This is a finished look. Absolutely love how it turned out. Thank you so much for tuning into the first episode of the Mommy Glow Up and Chat series, where I just want to encourage and uplift women who may be just dealing with trying to conceive, just dealing with pregnancy, girl, just dealing with being a mom. And hopefully I can encourage you and just shed light and insight on the fact that you are not alone, okay? We all have our own struggles and battles that we are dealing with and going through, especially in this motherhood journey. And I just want to encourage you that you are not alone. So we are going to be discussing so many different topics. If you have any topics that you would like for me to cover that I don't already have like planned out, definitely leave them down below. And if you are on your trying to conceive journey, or if you're dealing with loss, I just want to encourage you and to let you know that you are not alone. There's so many other women who are facing the same things that you are facing, and you are not alone. And I would love for you, if you feel comfortable, to leave a comment down below so someone else can read it, because it can be very encouraging to someone else to see like, oh, this person is dealing with this and they're managing, and this is how they're coping. Or if you've gone through something and you want to shed light on how you've gotten through that certain season in your life, leave it in the comments. Let this be a community and a place, a safe space where women can come and just feel comfortable enough to share things that they may be dealing with and to just encourage each other. So that's the goal with this series, and just to make it fun, just to share and talk about different motherhood topics while, you know, beautifying ourselves. My mommy motivation for today is: your journey to motherhood is unique, and no matter how long it takes or what obstacles come your way, you are strong, worthy, and meant for this. So like I said, if you have any questions or any topics that you would like for me to cover in any of our Mommy Glow Up and Chat episodes, definitely leave them down below in the comment section. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, I would love to have you over here. If this is your first time catching a video from me, I share my life through vlogs. So I share vlogs on my channel. I am a wife. I am a mom of 2 girls. I have a 7-year-old Skylar and a 5-year-old Summer, and I'm currently pregnant with my 3rd baby girl. So that's so exciting. So I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I will have all the products that I use to create this look linked down below in the description box. So check it out. Any links will be down below in the description box, along with some of my pregnancy favorites, or I feel like must-haves as well. I'll link them down below in the description box. But I'll see you guys later. Bye.